Vendy's really struggling with, as a side note here, is his total lack of respect for Leo. Just he didn't say anything, and it took how long to enter the room, and it's just really.
Except for that flying, my roll's been on fire today.
All right, so let's figure out. You guys are coming up on this door. I need to kind of understand how it works as you go through the door, please. Who's
before we go through, with my trap finding skill, I'm going to do a perception check.
Yeah, Dave, let's leverage your perception check from before when you listened. You did not perceive any traps in the door there. So you're good to open that door.
As they say in the world of D&D, don't waste the
So do you want you to go first as the warrior? Or?
Yeah, Torben should go first.
Okay, let me...
My longsword is out, and I stand alert.
Yeah, weapons are drawn before the door is opened.
Okay, Torben, move 5 feet forward, please. As you cross that threshold, Torben, you're the first one in. Everybody's going to hear this because of my voice, but in your head, you hear the phrase, approach with humility and live. Now, let me tell you what you
Sounds like a good time to send Bendy in.
This sounds like a job, man.
Torben, move out of the way.
Mr. Humility.
All right, so again, the stone door... Let me tell you... Let me tell you
My
what
roll
the scene is.
is...
Hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
Yeah, let me set the scene here for you. So again, the door slides silently open. Only you hear this voice in your head. You kind of glance around, right? This chamber, unlike the last chamber that was bathed in kind of a golden sunlight kind of hue, this one's bathed in red light. Right in front of you, directly in front of you, 20 feet in front of you, you see a dusty altar. It's inscribed again with runes. And on top of the altar are a pair of hands. And in the hands, a ruby, or what appears to be a gemstone, the size of your fist. The creepy red light that kind of shines in this room is emanating from that gemstone. Once you peel your eyes away from that gemstone, you notice on both sides of this altar there are 2 statues. And that's all that you see.
Can I see what the statues are?
Are they like never-ending story statues?
Yeah, not quite never-ending story statues. Imagine they're humanoid figures. They have their hands up in kind of a... how would you describe that? Kind of a cupping fashion.
Supplicant?
No, not together. Their hands are to the sides. Their palms are facing up, kind of shoulder level.
I'm trying to describe it as, like, they look like up when you're questioning something, you shrug your shoulders and your palms are upward.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic shrug.
They don't look like they're shrugging, though. What they look like they're holding, and what they are holding, are tiny wisps of flame in each hand.
Bendy didn't think they were shrugging. He was simply trying to describe.
Right. The face of each statue, what's noticeable about it, again, these statues are blackened stone, and the faces are humanoid with the mouths open, as though they're talking.
And then flame.
Does anyone see or know what's going on here, or is Torben the only one who's seen all this so far?
Davyak, from where you're standing, you're kind of catching a glimpse of just the
ruby.
The ruby.
I gotta see what's in here.
Classic Bendy.
Vendy gets a glimpse.
So we see the ruby.
Yeah.
So is the ruby, the hand that's holding the ruby, is it in the same sort of cupping fashion as the hands of the other 2 statues?
No, the hands that are holding the ruby are together, pinky to pinky, like cupping, like the same way that Torben drank his poison water.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn back to the group here and tell them what I just heard in my head because that kind of freaked me out. And I'm gonna say that it told me to approach with humility and live. Is there a way for me to detect, like, if it's a malicious feeling in the room, or does it feel like the Desmond fountain that we just walked by? I know the lighting is different, but does it seem ominous? Can I roll for that, or what?
You as a warrior, I don't think would be able to, but maybe the wizard or the cleric might have a spell that could help him out here.
So,
Maybe to detect evil or something?
a knowledge roll, do you guys think a knowledge roll would be, or a perception roll?
Maybe a knowledge arcana or I have a knowledge dungeoneering.
I have a plus 10 on Arcana.
Plus 10?
Oh yeah, definitely roll that.
Game aside here, column 1, that first kind of gray box.
Yeah, that's the bonus you get to your roll.
Yeah, I got a plus. Is that right, Lovers? Plus 10?
Yeah, I think if I remember right, your guy had 2 really high bonuses.
Or is that plus
Didn't you have like history and arcana or something?
Total, yeah, plus 10.
So do you guys want me to do a knowledge arcana roll?
Yeah, see if there's any like arcane spirit or magic happening in here.
Yeah, definitely. I am. This is a question for the game. Can I, Dungeon Master, say I'm doing a knowledge arcana roll? Can I tell you like why I'm doing it, and will you then yield more information? Because I want to know if there's a spell that's harmful in here that could kill us, basically.
I gotta admit, frailty on the knowledge arcana. I'm not exactly sure what that will reveal. One thing that I can confirm for you, though, that with 100% success, you have a spell that you can cast all the time, which is Detect Magic, which will detect anything magical in the room.
Yeah. Guys, I think we should maybe do that.
So, can Javiak, or not Javiak, can Vendi join me on the threshold and maybe help hear it as well? And we see if, like, he can
Stand shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, stand next to me and see if anything happens to him.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm gonna
I assume.
enter with humility.
What does that mean?
I'm just listening to Torben.
As you now cross the threshold,
Yeah.
in Vendi's voice, this time completely neutral, right? This is not a voice that is supposed to scare you. It just is very clear to you. You feel it in your bones. It says, approach with humility and live.
Okay. So I turn to Torben and say, I just heard the same thing. And we kind of
Okay.
Can I assume that you're casting that detect magic once you're in the room?
Yes.
Okay, so you get the sense immediately that the 3 objects that have been described, the fist-sized gemstone is putting off the strongest vibe. Okay, you also get a sense that there's something magical going on with the statues themselves.
So I don't need to roll for my detect magic?
You do not.
Oh, okay. So the ruby is what? Is there more than just a magical vibe? You say it's a neutral. No, the voice is neutral. Like, is there more to that magical vibe?
There is not. You just all that detect magic does is it tells you yes, these are magical things.
Okay. All right.
So maybe what we should do is because clearly everyone's going to get the same message, maybe we should step into the room, but maybe keep our eyes averted or down or something, because if you're coming up to a shrine or an altar with humility, maybe we should kind of bow our heads in case something bad happens.
Yes. This is hard for Vendi to do, but I concur.
Maybe should Torben try something here and see what happens?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to take a step in. I'm going to lower my sword. I'm still going to have it in my hand, but I'm going to kind of lower the blade anyway. And I'm going to keep my eyes kind of down, my head sort of lowered a little as I step in the room.
Okay. You take a 5-foot step forward. no additional voice in your head, and nothing happens.
Okay, Bendy 2 is going to walk into the room. He's not going to look at the ruby or the statues. And he is going to...
You're like shoegazing, you're looking down kind
I'm
of deal?
shoegazing, and I am going to stand next to Torben.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Daviak?
You cartwheel it.
Daviak cartwheels into the room.
That is good.
I'm assuming we both hear the same thing as we walk to the threshold.
Freaking gold. That's great. Yeah, everybody hears the same thing. Again, individual voice. It's almost like the voice, your own voice in your head. You know, it's non-threatening. It is the voice of Torben for Torben. It's the voice of Vendi for Vendi. Every time, approach with humility and live.
Daviak and Leo are both going to shoegaze into the room as well.
Okay.
I think, is this something over here to the east? What is that?
So a black thing on the ground there.
Yeah, is that significant?
It's insignificant. It just looks like what might have been some refuse left maybe by a goblin.
Okay. Torben's going to take another step. Same thing. Kind of balance.
Are there any like letters on the ground that we maybe have to walk on the right ones?
No, the floor is very clean,
Only the
and
penitent man will pass.
again, Torben steps forward. Once again, nothing.
Make note that when Leo tried
Should we
to...
keep
Do
going?
you want to do a little swap out with the ruby and like something else?
Take a with the skull.
Do you have a little bag of sand?
the Raiders references for sure. They're going crazy.
I mean, I think I should just. This is the. It doesn't appear that there are any doors around. This is like a closed room, right?
There is a room, or you guys see a door to the west. You see that? I've opened it up.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I should have said that before. Otherwise, it is an enclosed room with only one exit to the west. Yeah.
This seems like a religious situation here. Is there any way that we can find out more about these statues, or...
Yeah, can Leo do a little knowledge religion check here?
Sure.
That's poor.
Leo, for the second time, staring at runes, is like, I think it says something about humility. I don't know.
I have a plus
I
3.
only roll well for Daviak.
Want to roll?
I'm gonna roll my religion, guys. I got a plus 3 in it.
Okay.
Because every day, Bendy fears that he's losing his religion. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Is that you in the corner?
No, that's me in the corner.
Right then, a statue actually shines a spotlight on Vendi.
So it's a D20 plus 3, is that right? Or
Yeah.
is it
D20 plus 3.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it. Oh, the 4.
Yeah, Vendi, despite fearing a loss of religion, is like, I don't think this is a religious room. I just think this is yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So you're not really gaining anything from the religion check.
Okay.
I'm gonna step up to this altar and check it out.
Can I do a knowledge dungeoneering check?
As Torben steps forward,
Oh, sorry.
a trap activates.
Oh.
Torben?
I'm going to try something here. I'm going to try and draw something.
All right. Sorry, boys.
It's all right. We definitely knew we were in a Raiders of the Lost Ark situation now. So Vendy's very surprised that Torben's approaching the altar.
Torben, I need you to do a reflex save.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my fault. I checked for traps at the door and forgot to check again once we came in.
Torben, let's not forget that you're the worst possible person to have done this, since you're taking a -2 on saving throws until your next
you're
combat.
right. Forgot.
You got this, man.
Is there a way to do this in here?
So what I've drawn on the
So,
map, if you can see those
What
orange
does he need to
blocks-
check?
Can you guys see these orange blocks?
Nuh-uh.
What do you need to check?
I just need to do a saving. What do I need to check? Plus?
All right, can you see these orange blocks now?
I don't see any.
No. What is Torben doing a check on? Now we see
Oh, Jesus.
3 orange triangles.
Yeah, as Torben, despite his efforts to be humble, approached, as soon as he got to within 5 feet of the gem, the statues, the flames shot out in a horizontal plane from the mouth and from their hands, in a horizontal plane about 5 feet off the ground. And shot out, basically covering those squares that I've covered with the flame there. All right,
Okay.
Torben, roll a reflex save to see if you're able to get out of the way of the flame.
So on your defense, scroll down. Yeah, just click the reflex die, the black.
Where?
Yeah, right below that.
Oh, that's reflex? Okay.
13?
The -2, right?
Oh yeah, so 11.
11.
Okay. You somehow hear like the ignition of fluid, like channeling up through the statues, and your fighter instinct takes over. You basically do a tuck, and you only take a portion of the damage here. So let's figure out what that is.
So are these flames constantly going, or was it a quick shootout and they're gone?
Quick shootout and they are gone. You have taken 4 points of damage. You take half the damage because of your reflex save.
Where would I keep track of that here?
So if you click on your guy on the map,
Yeah.
the 12 should be.
Now I just
So
take
you-
off.
Yeah.
That should be. Oh, it'll automatically go so -4.
Let me get let me get a perception check from everybody in the room. Okay. Vendi,
Yes.
you're able to piece together the sound that started a few seconds right as Torben stepped up. The initial shock of the flame coming out and Torben's like jump yell, right? All this, everybody else is processing this data, but as they're processing it, you begin to hear tick, 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 the kind of preparation for it to trigger again.
Yeah.
You say to Torben, you recognize Torben's got to move out of that square or risk being hit by flame again.
Yes.
Okay? What do you do?
So I look to my friend Torben, who I favor way over Leo, wishing Leo was and I say, Torben, step directly backwards toward us. In a Gandalf-like voice. Torben!
Okay. Okay.
It's a pretty good Gandalf.
Okay, so immediately the kind of sound stops, right? The flame does not come again. There's silence in the room. Leo is sitting in the back, completely worthless. Daviak, what do you guys make of this situation?
Yeah, I do have a very high disabled device.
Maybe like the step triggers it. Maybe you could check that out. I don't know.
Closest step.
So
I will. You guys are looking at.
I'm
Torben, and you
gonna
notice
step to
that-
where Torben is.
Just real quick before you make a decision here, you remember that Torben is not burned below the waist.
Yeah.
It was a sheet of flame that came out on a certain level.
Oh, it's
The penitent man shall pass.
Penitent man shall pass.
Penitent man
That's- I thought that when we entered the room that we should have.
You guys were so close.
So I'm gonna crawl on hands and knees to where Torben is,
Okay,
and I'm gonna.
give him a BJ.
So I'm assuming I have to detect a trap before I can try to disable it.
No, you
Or now that we've
detected
seen
the
it,
trap.
can I try to disable it?
The fire hath given away the trap.
Okay, I'm going to try to do a disable device.
Okay.
22.
I would say he disabled the crap out of it.
Okay, nothing more happens, but you did not disable the device.
With the 22, he did not disable the device.
That's right.
Okay.
Davian
Do we
looks
wanna
back,
try-
shrugs and is like, I didn't get it.
Do we want to try like crawling towards the ruby or something, or crawling towards the statues?
I think so.
Yeah,
for your knowledge,
let's
we are
crawl.
now all officially on our hands and knees.
Okay. Everybody's on their hands and knees.
Everybody is below the 5-foot level.
Okay. You guys are kind of glancing around. Everybody's kind of down at this level.
Yeah.
It becomes a question of, all right, what are we doing down here?
Do we want to try and get our hands on that ruby?
I don't know. Do we want that thing?
I mean, it's the size of a fist.
I mean, I have to imagine if we take it off the altar, some other trap might spring.
Yeah, I mean, do we all want to walk out of the room and let Vendy try to grab it off the altar?
That's great.
I think, I mean, we're on this adventure. We can't leave it behind. I mean, this room's been the most frightening of the rooms since we entered the dungeon, but I just can't imagine leaving that ruby behind. I'm a very greedy wizard.
How high up is the ruby? Is it above
It's a good
the
question.
flame level?
It is above the flame level, but not so high above the flame level that a quick hand couldn't reach up, grab it, and duck back down before the flames come.
Hey, Daviak, do you have some sort of like agility thing?
I got acrobatics.
You gonna like backflip it out of the hands?
Could I like do some kind of hand acrobatics where I quickly grab at the ruby?
Fendi comes down from the ceiling with a rope around his waist.
Oscar style. Yeah, I think why not? Why don't you stealthily crawl up there and do a little quick switcheroo? Maybe you could deposit something in place of quickly do a little swap of the ruby for something else.
I think that's a great idea. We're in the Raiders room already.
Okay, you get a sense that this thing might weigh about a quarter of a pound.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's about the weight of an apple, is what you would imagine.
Okay.
Do we have anything where we could?
Yeah, I'm looking at equipment.
Go get that pile of turd from the camping room.
Leo, you find anything useful?
We chop off Leo's hand. Man, do we have any containers?
You'd have to look at your own equipment, I don't know.
We have that dagger we found that no one wants.
I want to fill a container up with the golden waters.
I don't think it'll let you. It disappeared as soon as we took it out of the fountain.
Oh, that's
I mean, a bunch of us have water skins.
Yeah, the water doesn't. Yeah.
I think we got the benefit of the water.
The water ceased to be gold out of the fountain. It didn't disappear.
Oh.
I thought he was saying just to
Oh,
get a weighted bag of water and swap it out. So what are we thinking? Do we have anything we could try swapping, or should I just try to do some kind of like acrobatic
Just grab it.
grab at the ruby?
Yeah, just grab it.
Oh, hold on. I'm looking at my equipment real quick.
I'll make that close.
Because
I have 9.
Where the hell is my equipment?
On the far right, I think.
Oh, hold on. We do have water skins. I mean, it's up to I personally suggest filling our water skins with the golden waters and replacing it.
Okay.
That's just my idea. We can vote. I come from a democratic society.
Davia,
Yeah.
are you kind of the one stepping up to
We
this?
can give that a try. Say that again?
Yeah, Daviak.
All right, Davia,
Leo sure as hell isn't doing it.
you got your you're down on all fours. You walk up to this thing. In one hand, you've got your water skin, and in the other, your empty hand. You reach up, and as you reach up, you hear that kind of hiss of whatever that fluid is that spits out of these things and ignites. It begins that counter. You switch with the one hand, you put the water jug on the other. It continues to count down.
As soon as I grab the ruby, I do a backward somersault away from the altar.
Let's do a acrobatics check. You do a acrobatics check. As the acrobatics check is happening, you basically land and slam into Torben right behind you.
Damn it.
The flame spits out, but you have managed to avoid the flame. However, you notice that the hand that you used to grab and are now holding the gemstone, it has burned your hand. Nothing life-threatening, but you need to take one hit point damage in that hand.
Okay, I quickly hot potato the ruby over to Vendy.
Yeah. You hot potato that sucker. It's already cooling down, and Vendy's like, "What's the big deal?" And Vendy, you look over, see.
I definitely I look over at Daviak and judge his manhood. Question it, I should say. And I'm super stoked about my new ruby. Not sure if I'm going to give it back, and I quickly deposit it into one of my satchels.
Nice.
But I will use it if we need to.
Oops.
Can we do it? Can we appraise that ruby?
Yeah.
Rough idea of what it's worth.
Well, again, it was putting off a pretty strong detect
That's right.
magic vibe. So why don't we, now that you've actually got it in your possession,
Yes.
you can cast detect magic again.
Yeah.
It's a flawless ruby. It's worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, guys.
Nice.
We are going to be able to get the Winnebago.
Vendy,
Gosh dang it.
as you're holding it, you recognize its power,
Yeah.
right? You look at the other guys. This is an energy heart,
Energy heart.
right? Everybody's like, what the hell's an energy heart? And you say it has the ability to absorb pain from us, from whoever is the holder, right? The first time each day that you take acid, cold, electricity, or fire damage, this gem reduces the amount of damage that you take by 10,
Ooh, that's nice.
Wow.
right? So, for example, big powerful wizard comes out of nowhere, fires a fireball at you. It does 12 points of damage. It would take the first 10. You would be left with 2 damage.
And that lasts for a day?
It's the first time that you take that.
Yeah, it's a one time per day.
one time per day.
One time per day.
The first time per day.
For style
Yes.
points, can I affix this ruby to the end of my staff?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, before you do that, is this something that we can pass around and all benefit from? Like once the one wielder has benefited from it, can you hand it off and
All
Yeah,
right.
is it a once per day or once per user per day?
It is a once per day on the item. It is not something that could get 4 triggers from you guys.
So it's only the person holding it that takes that gets the reduced damage. Then I thought it was for
So then he's going to be charging in all the rooms from now on?
all right, then you lead the way.
I am willing to pass this thing to each of us every new day except for Leo.